Buenos dias, amigos. It's Derek here with Blue Cactus Dairy Goats. This is your update on Winnie. So, last night at about 5:15, Crystal checked Winnie, said she looked the same and she needed to lay down. So she laid down. Me and the kids ran off to town because we finally had trucks again after the windshields got repaired. And we came back just at shore time. 7:03 is when we walked out to the corral. So sometime between 5:15 and 7:03, Winnie had babies, because one of the first things we do is move all of the does down. I don't know why I needed my hand to simulate this. We move all the does down into a holding pen. And when we were doing that, this little booger come running out of the A-frame in the corral, and she was all cleaned off. We knew immediately where she had came from, and we looked up under the A-frame, and there were, hey, be nice, buddy. Oh, there were three, there were three more bubbles basically on the ground, kind of in a hole. And I'd be over there doing it, but it's early in the morning, and we haven't milked or fed anything yet. That's why you can hear them screaming behind me. They could kind of see me. So they're all right there, mad at me. Where was I? So there were three bubbles, the three kids still in their bags basically, but we got in there, ran under. This one was fine. There were 4 kids. This one and 3 bubbles. This one was on top, and he was halfway out of the bag. That white fur, it was just this weird moment where I was like, I put my finger on that white fur and wondered if it was fur or flesh. It just looked funny it just looked funny. And her, I think that's a her, honestly. So anyway, yeah, that's a buck. Those are does. But anyway, this one here was kind of on top, and its back legs were just flattened out, like when you split a whole chicken and the legs come out, it's splayed open, like Winnie had been laying on her. This one was, these two were kind of on top of the one that didn't make it. This one was completely in the sack, and the sack was dried. It was it wasn't liquidy no more. It had that texture of, like, when you're butchering something and it's windy outside, it gets kind of dry on the outside. It was like that. And it was just me and Emily under the A-frame at this time. So she grabbed him and just started pulling the rest of the sack off him and rubbing on him. And I grabbed this little doe and just pulled her out of the sack and pulled everything off her, and just started rubbing on her, trying to get her going, and Daren was bringing us towels at the moment. Crystal's inside, knotted out at this time. She has no idea what's going on. Over the course of like 10 minutes or something, we got them cleaned off and moving around. And we went in the house to get, Winnie didn't seem to care at all about any of them. So we went in the house and got a measuring cup and a little syringe, so we could get some colostrum out of her and milk her. You're being a good babysitter, aren't you, buddy? Yes, he is. So we went in and got the measuring cup and the squeegee or syringe thing, whatever, milked some colostrum out, and we started shooting in their mouth. So while I was doing that, of course, I had to wake Crystal up to find out, to get I woke her up when I was getting the syringe, and she came out, and her and Emily just were holding these two in that pen, while Winnie was walking around not caring about anything, and that one was kind of following around, wishing he had a mom. Look at this little booger. Come on, you can stand up, buddy. Anyways, she we brought him inside because Winnie wasn't going to keep an eye on her, and she had already gotten out into the main doe corral. We weren't moving them at dark, by themselves weren't separating Winnie by herself at dark, and she just wasn't going to do a good job. We were certain these two wouldn't make it. I mean, we were certain at least this little one would not be here like I would have buried her last night in the middle of the night or something. But so anyway, we brought him in the house in this tote, and we milked Winnie out and got all her colostrum, added a little milk to it. And Crystal, when she, Crystal took a time or two last night and then once already this morning, and Emily was kind of like a few times last night, just kept bottle feeding them. And last night about midnight, this little booger finally latched on. About 10 o'clock last night, we thought, yeah, this one right here will probably make it. Suddenly its legs, we didn't know it could even walk. And then suddenly it was better. And Crystal was reminding us that Ruger did this for like 3 days, and then she came back. And then last night, this guy finally latched on, and I kind of held him up, and he was standing, not on his own power, but if I was just kind of holding him a little bit, you could see that she was gonna make it. I'll see if I can. But yeah, her legs were splayed back. We didn't know if she'd even be able to walk. And this one's neck was bent over, like where Winnie had been laying on her for who knows how long. And we just didn't think she had a chance. Oh, come here, booger. Oh, stand up for me. Oh yeah. Look at that little doe. She's still real weak and frail. Oh. Wobbly little booger. But that's it. This one was all cleaned off. Honestly, we don't know if Winnie cleaned her off or if she walked into the doe pen and all the other does cleaned her off. This one, we thought maybe, but I thought this girl here was definitely a goner. But here we are. You err on the side of life and you just keep trying. So they spent last night in the house. I brought them out here, sunshine, it's just, plus they needed a little more room to stretch their legs and walk around, and I got the best babysitter in town watching them right now. Now we got to go get ready to chore everybody else. So there'll be another update later, guys, or tomorrow or something. I don't know when. We're really, oh, look at that. Look at that. Err on the side of life. Hi. I mean, that's like a 6-inch span or something right there. 7-inch span. Just an itty bitty girl. All right, guys. Crystal's still sick. Winnie's not a very good mom. We're gonna milk her out for her colostrum again this morning. These three probably gonna stay right here today. We'll go from there.